because everything costs more, and I'm on a very limited income that's going up at this rate while inflation's going up like this. So yay! Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day on a not incredibly warm March 1st day, but it's warm enough that I'm not wearing my jacket shirt, one of my long sleeve plaid things, so hey, it's warm enough. And I actually slept well last night. I made sure to bring the fleecy blankets down, so I was mostly just covered by a sheet, and then a little bit of one fleecy, and then only a tinier bit with two fleecies. And I actually slept, no cramping. It was very, very good. And I actually slept. I mean, I still woke up toward the end. It was tossing and turning, being very uncomfortable, and waiting for it to be late enough that I could get up. But I slept longer than I sometimes do, and that's good. So it was definitely a good sleeping type of night. Thumbs up on that, a very good thing. And of course, to appease my YouTube algorithm masters, here we are to front load the video. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. I do appreciate that. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, that too would be awesome. I enjoy comments to no end. I read every one of them, thumbs up each one I do, and I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. So awesome. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people who help to keep me alive, and that is greatly appreciated. I enjoy metabolizing. I know my pets enjoy metabolizing, and thank you so much, each and every one of these people, for helping me to metabolize. I have really no idea how long I should keep my hands up in the air. I have forgotten, but thank you, each and every one of those people. And if you would like to become beautiful and awesome, there are links to my Patreon in the show more description for the video. Thumbs up. Front loading of YouTube algorithm video word salad over. Thumbs up, thank you all. But yeah, it was a day yesterday. I didn't do a ton. I did some stuff. I had some falling asleep problems just because it was so dark and gray outside because of just the weather. Everything was slow. My ADHD meds slowed the day down. But I still couldn't concentrate incredibly during the day because I was also sleepy. So, thumbs up. It worked out. Things were life. Now, there are a couple things I do want to talk about. One of them is I continue to lose weight, mostly because I don't have enough money to buy food. A lot of the times when I eat, my main meal of the day is like a half pack of mashed potato stuff with a half a can of chili, some cheese on it, and that's it. The rest of the day I'm eating like a little bit of yogurt here. Or the past couple days, it's been, 2 days ago I had 2 containers of like applesauce, and that's it. You can't eat things that you can't buy, and I haven't been able to buy a ton of stuff because I don't make enough money. And so I've been losing weight. Now, I don't mind that. I am like between 5'10" and 5'11". I don't know exactly, and I am older, and you shrink as you get older because the cartilage gets thinner in like your spine and some. I don't know how tall I am. So I'm like right around 5'10"-ish. Approximately. But I have been struggling to get my weight lower. Now, like 2015 or so, I lost a ton of weight, got really sick, couldn't eat. And I went from 325 pounds, down to 160. And ever since then, it has been, I've gone from 160 and then bumped up and then come down like this. And then lately, this last year, yay, pandemics, I went up to 200 and a little bit over. And now I'm back down to like 180. My scale weighs heavy, a couple pounds heavy. And you should, when you're fully dressed, shoes, clothing, stuff that you're wearing, it's about 10 pounds you subtract. So I have to take about 12, 13 pounds off my weight. And I was like 195. So I'm right around 180 now. So that's not bad. I don't mind not eating. And in fact, taking my generic Ritalin, methylphenidate hydrochloride, actually does help kill hunger pains. So taking my ADHD meds has been making it easier to not eat. So, yay. I just don't want to go under like 170 or so. I've taken a look at a thing that says for my weight, my height, my age, not my weight, but my height, my age, a good thing weight is like 167 maximum. But when I was at 160, I looked skeletal. I was gaunt. I did not look healthy just because my meat was clinging so tightly to my bones. So I've got a slightly larger frame than that. Not a ton. I mean, I'm not a big person, but I'm not a small person either. So 167 is, if I can get to it like 170, 175, I'm not going to complain. That'll be good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. But yeah, it's kind of an involuntary weight loss thing. And I've got to call up and renew my food card so that I can continue to eat. Since our rent went up by $100 each and every month, there went like my extra food and cannabis and entertainment and clothing money. So it's been really hard, and it's not getting any easier because everything costs more, and I'm on a very limited income that's going up at this rate while inflation's going up like this. So yay, thumbs up. Still though, there is also something that I saw that was very funny. I watched this other video. There's this guy called Hugbees, and he does really odd videos. He's got it's both dry and not dry sense of humor. His presentation can be exceptionally dry, especially when he does these parody videos. One of them was called How Bread is Actually Made. And the idea behind these things is they start off looking real, then about halfway through it's so off the rails it doesn't even involve the original thing anymore. So How Bread Was Actually Made starts off seemingly pretty normal, and is off the rails halfway through when he talks about, even in the beginning, like at the 24-second mark, he's talking about how the bread pees on itself out of terror. And it was on this video that he had made, How Bread Is Actually Made, that made it onto one of the CNN pages. There's one page where they do a daily thing where they list a couple stuff, blah, 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 and they'll have 5 depressing things, and then they'll have a lighthearted story. And they're real stories. Except this one day, they highlighted his How Bread Is Actually Made instead. Which is weird because when you do a Google search, his video isn't even the first one that comes up. So somebody that was working there seemingly had to have made a deliberate choice. And the comment section was awesome because they were all a bunch of boomers and Karens that had no idea that satire and parody videos even exist. Thumbs up. Now, as I talked to my housemates last night, one of the reasons I feel bad for people my age and older because even though I'm technically in the boomer age group, because it's supposed to be from blah, 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 I can't remember what time, to 1964, and if you're born in that time range, you're a boomer. Except if you're up at this edge of it, I was born in 1962. I was not raised as a boomer. Boomer times were over by then. This was their kids' time. I was raised as the next one, Generation X, latchkey kid. I mean, I'm boomer by age. I'm not boomer by how I was raised. I was raised counterculture and listening to the Beatles. Everything had changed. I'm Generation Jones, old enough to be a boomer, but wasn't raised as one, because the boomer times were over. Point being, though, I feel bad for all of these people because we were talking, I and my housemates, about older people, my age and some that are getting scammed all the time. And it's, if you weren't raised Gen X, you're a real mark, or Gen X or later, you're a real mark for scammers. Oh my God, they hunt you down if you're older, because you're generally not tech savvy and internet scam savvy. And so many of these people just fall prey to online social engineering. It is horrific. I mean, even if you're experts still fall victims to these things. I mean, they have expert scammers out there. Somebody's gonna fall prey to it no matter what. But this is a group of people that are just really vulnerable, and it is sad, it is scary. So thumbs up. But me, yeah, I mean, I grew up loving the electronic stuff, and ever since I was 19 years old, I have been buying computers and working with electronics. I've been building my own computers up until, well, semi-recently, when I wasn't even able to purchase equipment anymore, like from the year 2000 on. But I still crack open my computer and replace the parts, and I blow the dust out, and technology and stuff doesn't frighten me, and that's good. Now let me check my list here again. Oh yes, I do need to redo my library card. Apparently it has expired. The main reason I want to do it, not because I want to go up into an enclosed area with recycled air in a town where people refuse to wear masks, is because every month you can print like 30 pages, and I have my D100 book that I need to print some pages off so I can play it. So I need to take, they do have some pages that you can download and print for free, which are character sheets and the dungeoneering sheets and all that. So I need to download those onto my email, go to the library, renew my card, go onto one of the computers, download that stuff, print those pages. Even printing is fairly cheap, so if I use more than 30, I just get paid in a couple days, so I should be able to get a couple of the pages printed to go past 30. So we'll see how it works. I'd love to get the other D100 dungeon books, especially the world book. The books in between, they're supplemental in that they add extra rules and armor, they add extra rules and adventure, they add extra rules and extra charts, but the 6th book adds overworld adventures and just shows you how to adventure in the overworld and make your character do that, so that really you never even have to go into a dungeon if you don't want to. Those two, that's the big book that I'd really like to get. There's all sorts of cool stuff, but I'm, like I say right now, I can't even pay my bills. I can't even buy food. I rely on the kindness of everyone watching just to survive. So we shall see how that goes. Now, let me take a look on my list here. Oh gosh, I guess I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking about my creative setting, because I did want to talk about this because it has to do with ADHD in some. I have been playing a lot of Dead Island, but not in a hyperfixative way. Hyperfixation way. I have not played it every single day. And even on days when I do play it, like last night, I played it for about an hour before I went out for walkies, and then I put it down and went on. I have been focusing on it, but I haven't been hyper-fixating on it. There are games like Grim Dawn that I have hyper-fixated on, where I couldn't do anything but that. And then I got so far into it, and then I just stopped. My hyperfixation was over, and it was time to do something else because I was bored with it. I haven't been hyperfixating on Dead Island. I have been playing other things. I recorded an hour's worth of Slime Rancher. I've played other games. I've done these other things, and I come back to Dead Island and I play it. And that, I think, is why I've done so well. Because there are 4 acts in the game. I think I'm about to start Act 4. I have reached the point in the game where you go to a prison from the islands that you're on. You can't go back to the island. Once you're on the prison, you're on the prison. The rest of the game is over. That must be Act 4 because I'm 90% done. So now I guess I got to go to the prison to do the end game. That's cool that I'm actually finishing this without hyperfixating. It is so rare that I can finish any game at all. Ever since I've been gaming, I can count on the fingers of 2 hands, maybe 3, possibly 4, the number of games I've actually finished. ADHD sucks, trust me. So it is nice. I wanted to do it last night, but I've been kind of freaked out about the fact that I'll be leaving everything else behind, so I didn't do it. Hopefully today or so I'm going to be working more and very soon actually finish a game. Then I want to do Dying Light, even though the game Riptide, Dead Island Riptide, is right next, so don't know. But I do want to do Dying Light. My housemate has finished it, and I watched the end of the following expansion, and it's really sad. It's really depressing. He was actually sad and depressed after. So, yeah. But that's pretty cool. I'm just glad that things are working for me, and I'm at least surviving and doing that as I ignore the fact that I'm slowly sinking underneath financial waves. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounced the username, my sincere apologies. And even though I count in American Sign Language, with my depression, fibro, and all that, I'm lucky I can sometimes remember even what my name is. Hokey SMOKES. Getting better all the time, but still. Ice Damon, thumbs up and thank you. Oh, cramps suck. Confused L29, I love the sound of the rain. It is a wonderful, wonderful sound. MARJAMA with the 2 dots over it. KIM, thumbs up. There is Fearless, greatly appreciated. There's Ben B, thumbs up. And thank you very much for the Slime Rancher stuff. I made all those changes on my ranch right now. Greatly appreciated. We have Just Rashid, thumbs up and thank you. Brian Mayorga, I bet I'm nowhere close, but thank you. And then there's Kapaki. Hopefully things stay nice and safe where you are as well. I mean, things seem to be, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does, but here's hoping everything turns out well. There is Floramu. That is a very good idea for the shoe goop, and yeah, it is a very, very bittersweet story. I mean, really, literally, when I think of the sheriff and what happens, I have a total I'm 14 and this is deep reaction. I actually have tears, so I feel bad for the poor guy. But at least he didn't die poorly. And then there is Rob Rubano, thumbs up. Dreadlord AJ, greatly appreciated. Tracy McGill, thumbs up and thank you. And that is it. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you. You get me out of my head, if only for a short time, into the real world and dealing with real people, if only in text. And that is greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And hey, with my hands in the air, don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't know where the show more video description is, but inside of it, I have links to all my various channels, as well as links to things like my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful, literally awesome. Against all odds, we survive on this world during the same time frame. Beautiful people are literally beautiful and awesome. Thank you so much for helping to keep me alive. It is appreciated. I cannot remember how long I should keep my hands in the air. My wrists hurt, so hopefully I didn't mess up the timing too badly. And of course, if you would not like to help me by becoming a patron, that came out very poor English, and my sincere apologies. I do have a PayPal, and if you'd like to help me out without sending any financial aid, I do have a Amazon wish link list. I can speak English, I promise, with things like cat food on it. So if you could check it out, that'd be very awesome. Now, of course, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot or do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool as well. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Well, Hokey SMOKES, I've got a lot of phone calls to make. I didn't make any yesterday, primarily because largely they're government agencies that I'm going to have to call, and on Mondays, especially with the pandemic though, Mondays and Fridays are horrible trying to get through to any government agency. So I'm going to try, now that it's Tuesday, going to work on some other phone calls. I got things that I'm going to hopefully work on, and I got to get these back here continued, cleaned up, and worked on, so thumbs up on that. Hopefully you too can get the things done that you need to get done. That would be cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And of course, with the Covfefe bug a-raging, please take the precautions that you need to. You know what you have to do. Socially distance, wear a mask, Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. If you haven't been vaxxed and you can get it, please do it. If you can get a booster and you haven't yet, please do it. I gotta get mine. Just don't be a statistic. Thousands of people every single day in the United States alone are kicking off from this thing. And even those that don't, yes, there are the lucky people who come out of it with next to nothing. But there are those that are going to be suffering for the rest of their lives from the after effects. Don't be a statistic. Don't suffer needlessly, please. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. Well, quite frankly, I think that's a very good idea.